Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing chapter 3. Let me start at the beginning. It's arrays. So we need arrays so that we can assemble information in our computer storage in a way that we are able to access them when we need the information. So if we didn't have arrays, we would put on our information like this, and this would take a lot of time for us to get to whatever we want to do when we want to access it. So it's easier to use arrays because we'll access them easier. And instead of doing all this with an array, you can only have um, one variable and initiate a lot of information in it. You don't have to have a lot of them. So it's easier to use arrays. So you can have an array with that does have elements in one line, which is also okay. But for me, the easier way is this one, where you put your information in a different line, each element in its own line. Um, So accessing array elements. Now I was doing this first one, how to access an array elements. So for example, you have these, and remember when we're counting in an array, we start at index 0 up to wherever the number ends. So for you to know the number of elements in an array when you're given the indexes, you just add a 1. For you to know the indexes while you have the elements, you just remove minus a 1. So now we want to see what we'll get if we go to element 5, index 5, sorry. Mm, okay, so we have to run it. I'm using Microsoft Edge. So this is our dinosaur that is on element 5, so come on index 5. So I'm just gonna count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the one here that we got. So even if we wanted to access any other element, we'll just use their index number. Okay. um, Let me just comment this one out. Getting or changing elements in an array. Setting or changing elements in an array. What do we do to set or change elements in an array? Sometimes you have an array and you want to maybe you have an array of students. Maybe the student got position 1. Now the student, maybe they're playing sport, and now the student has changed. So you have to change them all the time. So how do we change elements in an array? So we have this. So for example, we can have an empty array. Okay, let me remove this. What did I do now? Yeah. So now we are adding an element to an array. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Okay. So we have an array of animals, which is an empty array. So for us to add a cat, we have to use the dot push method. So um, let's see. Okay, this is also a way of initializing an array. Before we get to this one, let's start by this one first. So you have an empty array. Now you want to initialize on index 0. You just say dinosaurs index 0 equals to T-Rex as it goes. You can also say dinosaurs here index 20, and then you write the name of the dinosaur that you want to be in index 20. Yes, this is what they're talking about here. So you see here, they um, the initialized index 33, of which you don't have index 30. The other index is in the middle, 24 of them. So they can just add at the end of the array, index 23. Okay, so mixing data types in an array. Array elements don't all have to be the same data type. For example, the next array contains a number 3, a string dinosaurs, an array, and another number. So let's try doing, before we get to the dot push and other methods, I think we have to do this one first. Mixing data types. I think I deleted it and then never. Okay, now I'm just gonna copy this one. So instead of var, we use let. Okay, so now we have an array inside of an array. I just need to fix this. So what do we do if we want to access the triceratops? What do we do? So this is what do we do when we want to access three or dinosaurs? This is index 0, this is index 1. But now the array inside this array, it's index 2. All of this array that is inside of the first array falls under index 2. So when we want to access this, we're gonna start by 2, using a 2. We'll use 2 square brackets to access this. Okay, now I'm gonna do this. Console log and the source and then we have 2, and then we have a 0, 2, 0. This is going to give us this one on index 2, element 0. Index 0 again, sorry. I don't know why I have an error. Let's go back and fix it. It's so hard for me to see now. Oh, I didn't. I did the rest of the numbers. Let me. Yeah. Now it shows us this element here. Because it's on index 2. Inside the index 2, it's at 0 because it's the first one. It's at the beginning. I hope I'm just being clear because I don't know. So now this is an array with mixed data types. As you can see, the numbers are not inside the inverted commas. We don't put our numbers inside inverted commas. But what was to happen if this 3 was in inverted commas? This 3 would literally tell us it's not a number. So if we add this 3 with another 3, it's not going to be a 6 or any other number when we add two numbers. It's going to be a 33 because this is not a 3 anymore. It's just like adding a T and a 5. It's going to be T5, not adding the, yeah. So what was going to happen if we only asked the console to print out the elements in index 2? It's gonna print out everything inside the bracket because the bracket is at element 3. At element 2, sorry. At index 2. So it has there's 3. The length is 3. Okay, so it could happen that maybe we don't have this. Let me just add one more to show that. So now we have this index at this array inside of an array at 3. This will simply means we no longer look for it at index 2, but rather we look for it at index 3. I hope I'm making sense. So this is what they're saying here. It's 0, 1, and then the bracket inside the index inside the array inside the other array is all at index 2. It's not at index 2, yeah. So to access the one at the beginning, we say index 2, the first one. This is the 2, 0 simply means element on index 2, the first one. Index 2, the second. Index 2, the third. So after that, we do go to index 3. Okay, let me comment this out. What do we do when we finding the length of an array? We use the dot length method. maybe we have is we had dinosaurs at the beginning, and I'm just gonna remove the comment, and then let me just um, so now we want the element of this. How do we get to it? So we just do this dinosaurs length. So with us, we have to do the console.log so that we are able to print it out. It shows us a 9, which is the length of the array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is correct. Okay, what do we do to find the last index of an array? We say element of an array minus 1. Now it has minus, the 9 has removed the 1, which is going to be an 8 now. Okay. How do we add new elements in an array? We have done that before with the method of just calling the array and then adding elements to an empty space of an array. We can also add to a space of array that has something. Okay. So adding new elements in an array. I think I have that one. Okay. So now we have an array of animals. Where is it? Okay. We have an array of animals. Don't know where it's starting and where it's ending. Inside when we want to add to the array of animals, we use a dot push method. So it's animals dot push, and we're pushing in a cat. The dot push method, according to what I understand and what I did, the dot push method will add the element at the beginning of the array. Any other element that comes after it, it goes at the back of it. So here we have a cat, dog, and a llama. We started by adding a cat and then a dog and then llama. So a cat is going to be at the beginning and then followed by a dog and then followed by a llama. So elements at the beginning of an array. Yeah, it uses the order we enter them in. So now we have this array. We want to to add an element at the beginning of the array. Now there's the dot push method. It just enters elements as they were entered. So we enter the cat first, the dog, and then llama at the end. So what does the unshift method do? The unshift method will come and it will add elements at the beginning of the array. For example, we had a cat. Now we want to add a monkey to the array, but at the beginning of the array. What do we do then? We use the unshift method. We'll say we have our array already, which has a dog, a cat, a pig, and a cow. So now we call the animal, and then we say dot unshift monkey. So when we run this, it's gonna have a monkey at the beginning before the dog. Why? Because the unshift method adds an element at the beginning of the array. Yeah, this is what they're doing here. So they added a cat, in element 0 had a cat. Now they added a monkey. How many elements do they have now? They have 4 monkeys at the beginning. Now they added a polar bear. There are 5 elements. Now there's polar bear at the beginning. If the cat is no longer at element 0. So now we are removing elements from an array. How do we do that? I'm not sure. Okay. To remove the last element of an array, you can pop it off by adding the dot pop. So the dot pop method removes the last element of an array. Okay. So we have animals, we have a bear, we have a cat, and a pig. What do we do when we want to remove a pig? We say so here they just created a variable for the animal that is going to be removed to stay in the variable last animal, and just in case you want to use it after. So now we have we console.log last animal. It's going to show us the pig. Console.log animals, then they will show us without a pig. Let me just run this. You see what they did here. After popping the pig from the last element, they kept it into the variable last animal to use it later, as I said. They now went on and said animals.unshift, and then they put in the last animal, which is a pig. So basically they mean the animal is gonna come at the beginning of the array, which is before the birth. When you call animals.pop at 1, the last item of the animals array llama is returned and saved into a variable last animal. Llama is also removed from the array, which leaves us with 4 animals when you call animals.pop again. At 2, dog is removed from the array. It returned, leaving only 3 animals in the array. When we used animal.pop on dog, we didn't save it into a variable, so we don't have the variable dog anymore. The llama, on the other hand, was saved in a variable last animal, so we can use it again whenever we need it. At 3, we use unshift last animal to add llama back to the front of the array. This gives us final array of llama, polar bear, monkey, and cat. pushing and popping are all useful here because sometimes you care about only the end of an array. You can push into a new item in the array, then pop it off when you're ready to use it. We'll look at some of the ways to, yes. So pop, we remove the last animal. Push, we put in the last animal. It's just the opposite. You pop, you remove, you push, you put in. Now we're gonna look at the shift method. To remove and return the first element of an array, we use shift. Now we learned how to add the first element, which is using unshift first element of an array. To remove the first element of an array, you use the push method. To add the last element of an array, to remove the last element of an array, you use the pop method. To add the last element of an array, you use the push method. Now, what do we do when we want to remove the first element of an array? We use the shift method. So here we have animals, llama, polar bear, monkey, and cat. The first animal equals to animals.shift. Now see, we have created a variable for the animal that we're gonna shift out. Okay. So now when we run this, it's gonna show us the animals without llama because llama has been shifted out. I'm gonna show you how it's gonna be. Polar bear, monkey, cat. See how it's gonna go. So we've basically removed llama. Shift, you put you shift out, and shift, you put it back. So if we unshift the last animal, it's gonna come back at the beginning. So push, you put in an animal, you pop, you remove, you push, you remove, you push, you put in an element at the end of the array. You pop, you remove the element at the end of an array. You push, you shift, you remove an element at the beginning of an array. You unshift, you add an element at the beginning of an array. How do we add arrays? We use the concat method, which is concatenating arrays. So for example, we have array. Okay, let me do this. I did it already. I wrote it down. We have an array: kids, adults, fruits, and people. Now we wanna concat. We have kids, adults, and fruits. Now we wanna concat the arrays. How is the array going to come out of when we run it? This one is the first ones. It's gonna come out, and then the second, and then the third, just in order. But now this will be one big array. Let's just run it and see how it's coming out with me if I didn't make any mistake. Now we had Rui, Bella, Christy at the beginning. We followed by Mercy, Tina, and Tembi, and then we followed by an apple and a banana. So it's just one big array. that it becomes one big array. When you concat arrays, two different arrays, it becomes one big array. So here, the first example was to just add kids and adults to add two arrays. But what do we do when you have a lot of arrays that you want to concat? So you put the first one and then put a comma, the second one, until you've done with all the other arrays. So how do we find the index of an element in an array? Okay, I'll just comment this out so we can not get disturbed. Let students equals to Bella, Ruvimbo, and Lucy. Now we want to know the index of Ruvimbo, so we console the log so that it's going to show us the information at the other hand, and then students.index of. For example, we have the element that we want to look for, but we want to know what number it is at, so we use the dot index of. It's gonna show us the index. Let me just run this. If I run it, it's gonna show us a 1. Yes, it's gonna show us a 1 because Ruvimbo is at 1, index 1. This is basically the opposite of using the array number to look for an array. For example, we know that Ruvimbo is at 1, but we wanna know where Ruvimbo is. We just on that one we just use the number of the index that we are looking for. Turning an array into a string. How do we turn an array into a string? We use the dot join method. So now we have boring animals. We have a monkey, a cat, a fish, and a lizard. So how do we add the array and turning it into a string? So we use console.log boring animals dot join, and then this is how I want the arrays to be separated when they are strings. You can put a comma, you can put a full stop, you can put whatever you want in the bracket of the dot join, so that this is gonna show you how you want your array, your string or array to be separated. Okay. Yeah. Now we have an example of a friend. Maybe I'm taking my friend at home to a house. It's her first time at my house. Now I have to walk her back, and I don't know where she's the way to her house. You can use an array to create landmarks, an array of landmarks. So whatever that I meet on the way, for example, I meet a school, I'll write a school. I meet a fountain, I'll write a fountain, so that when but now how do we also add this? We use the dot push method. Push my house dot push front path as we go like that. Now, what if I have taken the friend to her house? Now I am here at my friend's house and I want to go home now. I want to remove all this as I go. Maybe when I'm at a friend's house, I'll remove the at a friend's house. What are we going to use? We're going to use the pop. Landmarks.pop, it's going to pop out the last element with it, which is a friend's house. When I reach at the old school, I will use a landmarks.pop and then it pops the old school, pops everything till I get home when I have to pop the last one. Okay. Mm, decision maker. Okay, now wanna make decision. Wanna make a decision with arrays using method random. Method random will only pick up a number from 0 to 1, which is never a 0 itself or a 1 itself. So what if we want the method dot random to reach out to 10 random figures? So we, instead of multiplying with 1, we multiply, instead of multiplying by 3, because we usually multiply by 3, we multiply it by 10 elements that we wanted to reach. So here we have random body parts. We are So what do we do when we console method random times 12? It's gonna come out with any number it wanna come out with. Could come out with 11,5, or it could come out with 11,100. But when we wanted to pick maybe a random name from names of students. It can't pick 10,5 or 11,5. Now, which is when we use the math.flow, which rounds down the number that it randomly picks. So, for example, here math.flow has 3,74. In math, would run this up, but then here we are rounding it down so that we can get to the number that, to the real element that we want. Okay. Um, Now we have, let me take, creating a random insult generator. We have body parts, random adjectives, and random words. Okay, now the method flow is useful here because it's gonna give us full numbers, whole numbers, not numbers with a comma. So here I'm just gonna remove the comments. Yes. Now it says let random body parts equals to, we create a new variable called body part because the one that we had was body part. We create this new variable to store the random the random body part that the method random is gonna pick out. So when we want to use the random body part that the method that random has picked out, we use the random body part variable. We also do the same with the random adjectives and random words. So here we multiplied by 3 because we only have 3 of them. Okay. On the random words, since we had 4, I think here we have to put a 4 on it so that it can pick up to 4 words. So now we have to create again another variable that is gonna store the insult when we add all the random pickups and our own words to it. So when we run this, oh, my computer is always running. When we run this, so this is the random pickups that it did. So now your face is stupid fly. So the random body part is a face, and then the random insult is a stupid, and the random animal is a fly. The random adjective is stupid, and the random word is a fly. So I also did the programming challenge. You know, uh, I did it on my own because I really understood this. So now I created the body part, adjective, animal, and animal body. Now let me go to the book and just show up the question. The question says, make your own random insult generator with your own set of words. This is what I do. More sophisticated insult. Extend the random insult generator to generate insult like your body part is more an adjective than an animal body part. Okay. So now I have 4 arrays, and then I have to create one at the end that will store all the random pickups that it has been done by the math.random and math.flow. So I had a random body part to store the random pickup on the body part, random adjectives to store the random pickup on the adjective, random animal to store the random pickup on the animal, the random animal body to store the pickup on random animal body. So now I have random insult, which I added random body part, random animal body, and when we run it, it's gonna say your maybe pig's face, your face are funny, your face your face let me show the full screen. Your face funny like a cat tail. So this would be the outcome of the what did I do? Don't know what I'm pressing now. So sorry, why is it saying undefined now? Need to check what's up. Okay, your mouth are like is your mouth are silly like a dog. Why is it undefined now? Over. I think I picked up the problem. I should have used a 3, not a 4 to multiply this, so that it's all defined now. Your legs are stupid like a dog horns. Don't know a dog with horns, but yeah, that's the insult that I generated. I could have just wrote your and then plus body part plus is more plus maybe your face is more funny than cat's tail. That would have happened.